We have a lot to talk about. Hopefully you'll be able to see me in the proper proportion. Hopefully the comments will be working on this video. Seems that there's a lot of weirdness going on every time I do a live out here, but at least this time the chat is working. I'm going to put it on my phone so that, yeah, I think I'm going to put it on my phone so that everybody can see it, and you don't have to deal with it on my screen. Actually, I'll start with the screen, and if it gets too overwhelming, so I don't have to look at my phone, then I'll turn it off to the side. Hamza, welcome in, my friend. I'm glad to see you in here. Anthony, Defined Group, thank you both for being in Town Zone for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. And Defined Group, thanks for being a very trusted mod. Phenomenal first letter that you put out, or newsletter. Oh my God, it was phenomenal. Something I read when I first woke up. It was great. Strider, welcome in and good morning. Syrian, welcome in and thanks for being in Time Zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So Beds, along with Mo, and also being a very trusted mod. It's a little echoey because of the room I'm in. It has nothing to do with you guys. It's just the room I'm in. So there's nothing I can do about it. Michael, welcome in. The Cannabis Podcast and Papa Wheelie, thank you both for being in Time Zone for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Syrian, thank you for tuning in, loving being in Time Zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So Beds, and also being a very trusted mod. Says, please hit that like button. Yes, indeed. Let's try to push us through the algorithm. We'll go over some of these charts. Alchemy Pay, as you know, we have in the group trade pop 9.4% yesterday or into today. We've got XDC that tapped 10 cents, but now is doing a little bit of a retracement, which you would expect. XRP possibly could have a cup and handle forming here at all-time highs. We've got AMP, which I made a strategic flip, just a small flip, but I wanted to. I had AMP before, and I was feeling a little uneasy by not having it. So after XDC at 10 cents, I went from 200 and it's nothing major, 252,000 I think it was XDC to 212,220, and I put $3,700 on AMP. And it went up 2% since I bought it, but it's still in the same spot. I did that at like 1:30 in the morning. So the only reason I did that is because I have a long-term play on AMP that I initially sold and put it into XDC because I thought it was going to have that initial surge, and it did have about 25% or 23%. So it paid off. I got 23% more on my AMP basically, just to flip it back in and get the cap a little bit more. Yeah, XRP Healthcare is a super sleeper indeed. With the 100 million total circulating supply, and IPOs coming in the AI health and the digital health system, it's a big thing. Jorge, thanks for being a very trusted mod in Tom's on for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Says, hello, people. Hello, Tom. Beautiful people. And then he essentially says, come in and hit that like button, share, support, be a part of. You know, he encompasses it all in one. So I appreciate it, Jorge. And the reason why AMP, we woke up at 2 because of my son, and then my mom stayed up with them because they were both sleeping earlier. So I went to bed for about 4 hours or so. But with AMP, I've been watching this chart for a very long time, and the fact that it made this W reverse when I could identify that looks like an inverse head and shoulders in the weekly, and when it was back testing this last night, you could see this weekly was very close to. It looks like it's very close to having a significant breakout. This isn't even the chart I want. That's a grotesque looking chart. I have another one that's completely filled out. If I can't find it, we'll just do another one together later on in this live, because we got to get to some other stuff first. Suppose we could look at it on Bitstamp. I think they have a long history of it, because then we can make our own chart up from here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's make our own chart of AMP, and then we can see why. And it is so severely undervalued. It's so stinking undervalued. It's sick. It is. It's sick that this is still at this level, but it's sick in a good way. Because you got this overwhelming support that it bounces off of with its history. And then when it comes below, it rounded the one time it came below that support structure. We'll fill that out later. But we have so much stuff to talk about. I can't really focus on AMP at this exact moment. But I want everybody to know, like, I have a big vision there. And it's so far undervalued that I had to make a strategic, educated decision yesterday. And it just, because of what XDC is doing, it made it a rather easy decision. I'm not asking for judgment. I'm just giving you what I do. And I'm not telling you to do the same. Let's see. trying to find the one that I want. I guess we'll just have to do the USD. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just do the spot on Binance and then we'll go from there after. It's not a big deal. We just need the chart out there so we can see it. Welcome in, Lonzo. All we need is XRP on Coinbase and Uphold, and it's going to $50 to $100. I prefer for it not to be on Uphold, but yeah, I hear your point. Actually, for anybody on Uphold, I hope it goes on there. But yeah, once it gets listed to a major exchange, it could get very, very volatile. Ethereum up 4% on this Sunday, so the natural order here would be we started to pump overnight. We should get a minor retracement during the early AM hours. It shouldn't be anything significant. We've made it through for the most part on Sunday. IOTA, since the buy yesterday, up 2.48% today. But the group trade's doing rather well. We bought the weekly on the back test. It was like 20. I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't even know what we bought it at. That's the crazy thing. But I love IOTA. And I was feeling so uneasy. That's why I took that chance. Yesterday morning when the market looked like it was going to reverse, and I sold out of those group trades, did what I had to do position-wise, because I really, 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 really have a long-term plan with IOTA, and I was getting very uneasy not having it, and it was starting to bother me, because I swing traded it out for something in our group, and then the group didn't want to buy it back, so I never bought it back, and then I watched it go up like 7%, but then I watched it go all the way back down. Yeah, we're on VeChain as well. We bought, okay, so ACH as a group, we bought at 0222, so 22234, and it's up 11.1%. VeChain we bought at 026885 on that drop yesterday. When it retraced the weekly breakout, it's up 5.58%. And IOTA we bought at 2277, and it's up 5.48%. And we have 20,000 tokens there. 100,508 tokens of VeChain, 103,543 tokens of Alchemy Pay. So I think VeChain is severely undervalued as well. IOTA, I mean, I just think, what the hell chart is this? Where'd the other chart go we were working on yesterday? See, it didn't save anything. That's crazy. That's the old chart. It might have been BITUNIX, the one I did. Oh, no, this is the one right here. Oh, no, this is the old chart. This is the old one I used to use, I think. Wow, this is going way back. I don't even really use this chart, but that's when I first drew out that W and said you get that all-time Hank Kill Ass syndrome, which is a huge breakout. But I think BITUNIX, yeah, this is the one with the, that's the one. I use this one with the IoT. I forgot it didn't add to the watch list because, yeah, there we go. See, that's the updated with every current thing we need, but it's still, we can still see the Hank Kill Ass syndrome. And we call it the Hank Kill Ass syndrome when it's about to have a massive pump. That's exactly what XRP did. Look at that big W all-time reversal that hasn't formed yet that we're foreshadowing. I'm telling you guys, if you missed XRP, please listen to me. Don't miss IOTA. Don't miss VeChain. Don't miss XDC. And I could even say the same thing. Don't miss XLM. But for me, it was either I was going to split it up evenly between XLM and XDC. But I personally just believe it was a bigger move with XDC. I could be completely wrong and off base. Just like I had a hard time not buying Algo, but I decided I'm going to drop 20,000 tokens into IOTA because I personally think the upside should be stronger. At some point here, it's going to overtake it. But I have a bigger passion for IOTA than Algo. So I'm an IoT to the core. Like, I love the ISO, but if I have to choose ISO to IoT, like it's almost an apples to oranges comparison that IOTA to Algo, I'll take IOTA every day and twice on Sunday. I know it sounds crazy. I love Algorand, but I couldn't pass up a 22-cent range IOTA when Algo was still at 29 cents and justify buying 10,000 of them when IOTA is actually at a higher price appreciation in its history for its maximum all-time high hit. Less circulating supply. It's a mainframe token of the IoT. So it was a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry, Algo, but I got to go with my baby love here. And I may regret it in the future, but let's just say, you know, I know I did see that about Algo is rumored to lose the support from Tether, so that could be a very detrimental moment for Algo. It all depends how they have their funding flow. But remember, I believe Algo is working on a similar thing like RLUSD. So is it really going to be that bad? Or is this just another decisive deception that they throw on us? Lonzo says, I was buying Metallicus blockchain XPR on loan last year. The loan is up 1,200%. Excellent. Nothing wrong with that, especially when it's in your favor. Yeah, macro for H-bar, huge. It's massive. It's just a matter of where am I pulling capital from? And again, at 7.7 cents, in my head, I'm like, if I go balls deep into XDC instead of, you know, splitting it up into H-bar and some of these other ones, just price point, I thought it had more potential, but I don't know. H-bar's got a long-term cup and handle. I wrote it up. The only difference is right now I did not buy it back yet. And I ended up going deeper into XDC with the shares that were supposed to be in H-bar, so. But it's hard. It's a painful moment for right now because I can see what's forming here. This cup and handle is essentially breaking out, and that's going to put us up at the 50-cent range. So if that breaks out, you know, if that works out, you absolutely can't go wrong FOMO into XDC, especially late. No, that's, I mean, it's essentially XRP of 2024 in November, where it's at in the price chart. Just like, look at H-bar. That's a beautiful cup and handle. Oh, yeah, XDC is going to have a major run. I have no doubt about it. And being able to buy it at 7.7 cents on that back, I don't really see any reason to do anything. I did buy an overzealous amount. I used some of AMP because I thought it was going to have an earlier run than AMP. And I ended up selling the portion of AMP back out after the 20% or so. What was it, like 27% AMP or 23% XDC ran after we bought it already. I know it's retraced a little bit, so it's sitting at about, where's XDC? Oh, it's up 6.2%. It's holding on very strong. He sure was Syrian. That's what I think. I think they're just going to rename it and rebrand Tether into something different, under the guise of they got rid of it and it's just going to be rebranded. But good morning. 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, July 20th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So if you want to do apples to apples with H-bar and XDC, the bottom line is I looked at the potential from where it was at. And when I bought XDC, on average around, we'll just say 785. It's a little higher than my average, but then whatever. On this time around, I looked at a 248% move from here. But ultimately, the top of the cup and handle, if it plays out properly, 313%. When I looked at H-bar from the exact same area, because it hasn't really done anything, we were still in the same area because it went up faster than XDC, and then it pulled down. We came all the way down. Now we're at 27. So from 27 cents, we break out of the short cup. We get up to the top cup, and then we advance it. Even if we advance it, let's just say we get the maximum potential here. We advance out, we make it up here, but the one we measured is more down here for XDC, right? We're measuring the cup that we're in, that we're breaking or trying to break. But now if we push up like XDC and we say this is actually the cup up here, well, now we can kind of expand it a little bit. Now, oh, wait a minute, did I already expand it? No. Now we can expand it. Let's say it's a big cup. Let's just say it actually forms up at the top, but we can see where the actual cup and handle is. So this is kind of a cheesy tactic, but we're just going to see maximum potential. And you can, I mean, 78 cents from here if this played out properly. And from here, you're talking about a fantastic move at 188%, but it's not 300%. And these are the measurable moves. Now, nobody says it can't go higher, and it will in time. But I'm looking for like the, I think you guys can understand what I'm saying. XDC right now, remember, don't get too over caught up with this. The weekly's breaking out. And the next push should bring us to the top of this formation and finish off this cup. We're in the exact same setup right now as H-bar and some others at a different price point. That's it. H-bar long-term could be the biggest digital asset. It could literally tokenize XRP and every other valuable asset. I know. That's why it makes, like I said, it makes it tough right now. Because I'm looking for the right opportunity, and if something runs up and it gives me an opportunity to flip some of it into that weekly, I would be more than willing, but I've got to figure out the capital rotation. So it's a tough decision, but I definitely need to gain exposure there in some form, some way, some fashion. It's just for me right now, I could have put AMP's money into H-bar, but I feel like AMP is way behind, and it's got such a big move that it's probably going to blow H-bar out of the water initially. Because once it has that first big surge you're talking about, just to get back to the top. I mean, we're not even measuring any of these yet. I don't even know what the hell chart this is. This is a terrible chart. We're going to go with this one. I want to go with this one because we're going to look at this from the back. And we're going to build this back together real quick. And you can see it's in a cup. Oh, it was. I'm just going to pinpoint this. So basically looking at something like this. Yeah, by the laundry, Luke. It's over here, Luke. But look at that. That looks like an all-time inverse head and shoulders. If you measure this out into the future, this will knock your socks off legitimately. It did with mine. And to the point that I'm not even wearing them today. Got this W. Now you can do the 2 layers. One here, or the maximum layer. We'll do both. We'll do both for transparency. So let's just say it does fill this big W. We're way out ahead. Remember when we did it for XRP years ago? And it looks stupid, but now it looks fucking great because it actually played out. Same thing we're going to do with AMP. We're just trying to project if this plays out, and I'm not saying it's going to. You got a long descending consolidation. Well, it's a weird setup just because it's been on the same support structure for its entire history until it breaks out. It's crazy. So the short-term micro movement, once it gets out of here, we'll say it does it somewhere right here. Now we'll put it into the future just so we have. So short target, if we break out of this, would be somewhere around. And we'll do the. We're gonna go to XRP next. I was trying to cover all my bases before I got to XRP, so we could have a little bit of an active discussion. No, I'm not saying it's a long-term investment, Lonzo. It's a great, like I said, a great swing trade. Your charts don't make any sense at all. Tinku. They don't make any sense. You should pay attention a little bit. By the same philosophy I'm using right now is exactly what I do with everything else. And eat your heart out, friend. I mean, I know you've never been here, but maybe stick around for a minute and understand. What doesn't make sense is your understanding of charts. That's why this is blown over your head. Let's see. 672% if that played out to max capacity. I told you I'm going to look like an idiot, Tinku. This is what happened with XRP too. I'm not afraid of it. Look, ACH. Remember the little measurement? Filled it out. Second target, if it does this properly, goes up to there. Laugh out loud, sore comments, but sub to you for a long time. No, I appreciate the support, but I also want you to gain a better understanding of what these charts mean, if I'm being honest. So, like with XRP, when we forward projected it years ago, and now we have different projections here. If it breaks out, we go up to probably 5. This isn't the right stuff right here, but it's on the other chart. You probably go up to 549. If you don't break this and this becomes like almost like a broadening wedge rejection, you can see different projections here. And I know the $1.50 gap was technically touched at $1.62. I get that. But I still look at that area. If we ever had a big breakdown, so I target it just like I target 97 cents, just like I'm targeting the gap at 250 if this were to break down, so I can see how this would look. Now, if it breaks out here, we're looking at the actual technical target that I had at the start of this bull, well, not even the bull run. When we watched this for how many years? I did this same projection, micro, based on it to here. Exactly what I showed you on AMP. I did this years ago on XRP. Boom, boom. And it was just like this with XDC with the hook happening. It didn't happen. I projected it out on both fronts. We had a maximum target of $5.49. Well, maximum was $6.79 depending on how this played out. First big target is $3.83, which we've essentially filled out of this same kind of a setup and a same kind of projection base. And I had this drawn out 3 years ago on the market cap, and I looked like a complete jackass, and people were laughing at me for years. And now look, the exact way I drew it out with the Henkel ass, with the exact measurement to 255 billion. It looks stupid then, but does it look stupid now, or does it look like we're right on projection? And then once you break that, it's the golden years. But you have to have some kind of functional forward of thinking. It's not going to look pretty. No, yeah, I wish VELO was available on BITUNIX. I won't lie. If VELO was on BITUNIX, I would own it. Or if it was somewhere where I can, let's see. But welcome in everybody. Nick Morales, welcome in, and thanks for being a very trusted mind, not just in here, but also in the Telegram. And I appreciate all the help and guidance you give to the members based on your technical abilities as well. Frankie Fresh, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Let's see. Bob Burtner, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So ads. What I find funny is I get a lot more critics when everything's pumping after we've already did a fantastic layering. Like, look what we did yesterday. We were swinging out of some of our other stuff right before that drop. We watched a drop across the board. And in the Telegram, there were so many messages. I said, listen, guys, if this is the bottom, which it happened to be yesterday, the 30-minute time frame showed it. We double bottom. We already knew it in the weekly that they're fantastic. I don't care what the smaller time frames say. That weekly is looking phenomenal on all of these. And we looked at this W reversal here, and it was right here. Remember, 227 was the average buy. So it's right here before this even hooks up. So we had to have the forward thinking that, okay, this is where our buy was on IOTA when it back tested. We had to have the wherewithal to be like, hey, this is actually it was in the 30 minutes, so it's easier, but it was bouncing, and we had to just play it off of there, and it doesn't look like it's even close to being done. So those micro levels were scary with the way it dropped, but the weekly is showing an engulfing candle to the top side with a almost imminent move up to retest the daily resistance at 33 cents. So you're talking about that could be a massive move for the group in a very short amount of time. We're on a thinly traded weekend, but our gatekeeper right now, as we continue to say, is Ethereum. Ethereum is the gatekeeper. I know, Nick. I tried to tell them the same thing, that it was consolidating, and all we were doing was legitimately back testing all-time highs. Like you said, the FVG there, and also what I deem as my demand zone. We back tested it for the first time in history from above. And now we built what looks like a cup and handle right here. Does it not? We built a resistance at 365, formed a cup with a W reversal here at 334. Now if we come out and actually form a cup, this is where two things happen. One, we go up to like 455, 549, or two, we go from here and we make this break out of the cup and we're at like $4, 370 to $4, and then it ends up dying out and it breaks back down. Or two, this entire flag is going to help project the rest of our technical target in this bull market. Now we can use it from here if we want for the short measurement, But then at the end, we're going to have to measure it higher. So if we look at it from here, this should give us the upward potential just on this little cup that was formed. If you look at it, that this is a hold from the 20-day, and we measure the first one from the 20, that's just what I do. And then we measure the max capacity after, if it forms a cup. Because we don't know if it's actually going to be a cup and a handle per se, or if it's just going to round out and this is actually a bull flag. Let's assume it's a cup and handle. So this is the bull flag from here. We can get a micro target. Let's just say it forms a little cup here. And like I said, it's not going to make sense to everybody. You're going to have the same philosophy I do when I'm looking at charts. And nobody says this is the proper way of doing things. This is the way I taught myself to do it years ago. And you know what happened? I was awe-inspired because I realized this is what actually happens in the charts when they break up. Now, if it breaks down, you use the same philosophy and have a drop. So sure, that could bring you to $2.50. Sure, that could bring you to $3. And we'll see what happens. But for now, until it breaks down, we look at the upward trajectory. And right now, we're trying to break out into discovery, right? We're breaking out of the demand box, which is my own demand box. People have argued with me for years that this is not demand. I don't care. This is my demand. When you do your charts, you can do it exactly how you want that fits your narrative. So, and then I have the Elliott wave in two different ways. I have the ABCDE, which is going from the very beginning of the chart, or right now it shows a third wave, which technically I had it measured out to 443, but I would not be mad if it did something like that, came back down for a more volatile back test right here, and then sprung us up to that 549, maybe $6.79 area. There's one better projection. If this is a 5 wave going back from the start of XRP's history, if you follow A, B, C, C could get us up to, we could even say similar, but then after the back test on D, that's when you could expand out to over $10. Now, that's going to take time if it's that route, but still, I mean, it's all playing out in that general dynamic. So it's pretty interesting when you start looking at these charts all this time later, then you start looking at others and say, you know, many people are not going to be bouncing from one thing to the next looking. They're going to be laser focused on XRP or whatever their project is after it breaks out. We were just fortunate that ours is just ripping it. And they're not going to be looking at some of the slower ones, some of the ones that are well behind. Like XDC is still way behind. It's just got every retracement right now. It had a massive run up, not massive, but it went up 23% in a couple days. Now you'd expect some consolidation in the weekly, just to back test a weekly breakout. And you could theoretically maybe come back down to 936, but that's a big reversal pattern. And this is also forming the handle right here. So I would be very afraid to just sell out and try to reposition unless you've got the wherewithal to know what you're doing. Tom knew something because he kept going back in. I'm glad he did. Which one are you talking about? I didn't see the comment above. Frankie Fresh, were you talking about, Alchemy Pay? Okay, yeah, I could feel it with Alchemy Pay. That's why when I sold it for the reposition to see how I was going to do it, when I seen it drop down, and like I said, the 30-minute was everything yesterday. I was driving here, doing travel, and when I seen these 30 minutes come down like this, I'm like, holy shit. And then when it got on the 200-day at 222, I'm like, listen, guys, and I did a vote in the chat, and I was glad you guys all agreed with what I was saying. So I bought VeChain, Alchemy Pay, and IOTA. And there's a reason why I got you involved in the IoT via VeChain and IOTA, two that I really believe in. And two, I don't know, I can ask. Hello? Hello? Okay, we'll walk out right now. I apologize. DoorDash did not show me on the app. Thank you so much. We'll walk out right now. Bye. All right. So right now with ACH, we're we're consolidating the move, and if this consolidates properly, like I said, I probably wouldn't look in the hourly, but remember we projected it, but it did end up breaking from here now, so we have to accurately measure it. It didn't go farther. So we're looking at 272, but then the maximum short term If this breaks out from the first level, should be all the way up to 4.3. Alchemy Pay is huge in finance coming forward. I don't know how many of you are interested in Alchemy Pay outside of me talking about it, but it's a big player in what's to come. Like, it is so undervalued. I would put this along the lines of, what token would this be like? See, I just want to make sure that's total circulating supply. And don't forget the website. It is fire. And it's going to be even more fire later. Yeah, 10 billion. And there's 9.278 billion in circulation. So 9,278,296,815 Alchemy Pay tokens are in circulation. So that's 92.7% are in circulation right now. So that's definitely something to pay attention to. Future, like these are all micro trades for some, but these should be macro viewed. Like look at this on the RSI right now, busting out. On the MACD, busting out in the monthly. These are all good indicators. These are all good indicators for IOTA right here. I just had to show this. But these are all breaking out on IOTA. Bounced off the RSI in the monthly. Bounced right now in the MACD, moving average convergence divergence. Flipping to a nice strong green volume here in the monthly after red consolidation with very little volume to drop it at the last stage. My heart is full now because this is, I don't know how I would have done this if I wouldn't have done this. Tom cut his hair. No. It just looks like it because I showered and I have it sleekly done this morning. But no cutting the hair. Even though technically I'm off the hook because XRP at all-time highs, so I could technically cut it. But I'm making the sacrifice. Until we're millionaires, I'm not cutting it. But isn't it great how I can have the appearance, but not, now you can see it's not cut. But no, I promise I did not cut my hair. But whenever I shower and I put it up, in the morning it always looks like I cut it. So I get this nice, like, Italian, swift, stylish, just cool looking flow. But look at Dent, guys. Dent and data. Somebody yesterday, I know, as you were doing, I don't know if you're in the chat right now. Oh yeah, the screen makes it a lot harder too, unfortunately. Yeah, from behind me it does. It does make me. I'm like kind of blurred out here. There's nothing I can do because there's nothing on this window. This is like, oh, I don't know. When you stay somewhere else, it's weird. But data right now is up 4%. I know some of you don't see any connection with the IoT. I will just tell you have to have faith. If you just go into the IoT coin market cap or the market cap for IoT tokens, it's firmly in there. I'm okay. People can pick on me. This is all good fun. But just like I did with other ones, I did this forward projection here. And the short target would be 2.4 cents. But if you start looking at this, and for transparency, I have 200,000. Wait a minute. 200. Yeah, 200. Oh. So I have 200,000 plus tokens of data right now. And then I have 5 million Dent, as I added more yesterday when I had that small little push down. Well, it allowed me to add more because when I reflipped back into everything, I had a little more capital to disperse. So with data, and I'm keeping the FUD guy up there with Bitcoin until we pass him. We're going to pass right through FUD man eventually. But I think data is positioned where MEXC and ZBCN was not too long ago when we had 400 to 600% rallies in a very short amount of time, sold out, rebought back in after like a 60, 70% drop, and then rinsed and repeated. That's why I've been on data for so long with my audience. And we found every spot I circled are real reversal points there, and you can see a big inversion leaving. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Whales and buying low on XPR, heaviest on the tail. Wow. That makes sense. So, okay, that's to get to that. And then, just so I don't forget, Dent and Nina was her name. This is my play with her. I watched that in 2022, and the fact when she brought it up, it was still in the same consolidation I was watching when I couldn't buy it in 2022. is outrageous. So I'm 5 million tokens deep into Dent. But Mina, if you're in here, thank you so much for bringing Dent back up, doing a phenomenal job on the Telegram, showing the diamond pattern, and doing all of this. It's excellent. It's excellent. Like, did such a good job for us. Let's see, I don't want anybody to see anybody else's personal conversation with me, which is the hardest part of trying to show Telegram on here, if I'm being honest. And like, when you talk to me, you reach out to me. I don't reach out to you unless you're like an admin, because I don't want you to get caught up with spammers. And there's so many people imitating me that it's why we do what we do. But there's so much stuff, the general chat, group swing trading section. We got the Reader's Digest. This is the first issue put out by, it might be powered by XRP Future Millionaire, but it was developed, created, and inspired by not just the community or myself, but it was envisioned by Define Group, who's a mod in this very live. And he runs the show with Jorge, Nick, and myself in the Telegram. But like, this is a great thing to look at as well. We have to find a way to combat spammers because it's out of control. So if you want to join the Telegram, join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month. You only have to do it once. Consider it a paywall because we had a lot of people imitating me, and some people lost money because they actually sent them their personal tokens, and it breaks my heart because I'm trying to create abundance and not let some tool take our abundance from us when we're working diligently every single day. So join Tom's Army. I'm going to take the Telegram off the front page, actually, because people are trying to circumvent it, and now I know how they're doing it. Just, I had to see it real quick. So that's going to get taken off the front page, and that's going to be right now, actually, as a matter of fact. Because now I know how the spammers are getting in. They're circumventing based on what I put on my, for everybody to see an easy link, but that can't happen anymore. So that link is going bye-bye in approximately 10 seconds. Publish. Okay. Let me reset this real quick. What, did I not delete it? Where's this at? That should be. Oh, because I'm still logged in. Duh. Yeah, why is it still showing up? The fuck? Did not publish? Gotta love technology, huh? Okay. We'll get back into this though. This is important though, because I'm getting tired of seeing people come in there just to try to scam people. Like, come on, have a moral compass, people. But then again, you know, you're talking to a spammer. How could they possibly have a moral compass? There we go. Okay. So no more circumventing the system. I'm sick and tired of it. It pops up on mine, but it's not popping up in the general audience anymore. It's probably because this hasn't reset, which is annoying, but it is what it is. But it's not popping up in mine anymore there. So now you can't get in there. So if you want to join the Telegram, join Tom's Army. And if you don't continue to stay in it after 1 month, so be it. I encourage you to do it because there's a lot of information and we're doing a lot of work and all this other stuff. And then you'll simply go to the membership. You'll sign up through membership. I've been a member in my own army for 49 months. I have the XRP Phoenix badge. And then post, you'll see a link. I'll put a new link every day. Right now, I will edit this. I will copy this because I can do it in real time. Assuming it lets me. Copy. And now I'm going to make a new post. So if you're a member of Tom's Army and you want to join the Telegram, please, I encourage you, join. We've got so much stuff going on. But again, this isn't going to be public. This goes to channel members, not just subscribers, but Tom's Army or higher. Now we circumvent the spam. We have a real security system now, and we didn't do this until we got to almost 400 members. And it's a shame that it ended up having to go that way. Doge is looking fire. We own Doge, me and Julie. You guys know the story. I bought it back for her after the big run up. We sold it on Saturday Night Live. She was somebody who had $50 or $75 in it and turned into $1,000. It was insane. We ended up putting, I bought her back at 5.2 or 5.4 when I bought XRP at 34 cents. After about a year, they allowed me to send it to her wallet on Robinhood and ended up allowing deposits for her Robinhood wallet. She's had it there for several years now, and it's appreciated from when I got to send it to her at 9 cents. And when we bought the 10,000 plus tokens at 5.2, it's appreciated too. And I'll put Doge on this page because that's Julie's baby. And because of her, you know, I don't have to ever think about buying or selling. It's her token. She'll never sell it. She barely looks at it. And she's the kind of person you want to hold on to something because they're going to hold on to it until it appreciates properly. Just like I will with XRP and some of the other ones, she can do it with the rest. So hers, Julie, your Doge is up over 25 again. Is it? Yeah, and it's got a big, massive reversal here in the daily. Weekly's looking phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Big cup and handle form. You want to know your targets, Julie? Short target, if this cup and handle breaks out. Oh, that's the one. Hey, that's got a real nice slimming effect, too. Looks nice. I like your dress. So, short target. Let's just say it breaks out of this, and we're going to measure it right here. This, let's see. In the weekly, I don't want to go way up there, though. I'd rather it break from here. So, short target, Julie, if this breaks out, would be... Hold on, just bear with me. There was a lot of comments so I couldn't see. And I don't have my... So, short target, if this plays bullish, in time, we would make a push-up. Wow. That'd be around 73 cents. Julie, 73 cents. 73 cents? But if it plays out, and let's just say the all-time cup and handle, that would form on this push. So, think of it like this. We have a W, Julie. Look. We have a W. The first cup would bring it up like this. That would bring it to 73. And then if it does that, then you would measure out the top.
Is that the big cup that you showed me yesterday?
If it forms, yeah. And then you could possibly go all the way up to $1.50.
Cool. Ooh.
But...
Has Doge ever been $1?
No. But I have a feeling it's going to be at some point.
That's exciting because I think the high was, what, 74?
74 roughly, yeah.
Oh, look at me. I remember.
Tazzy, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army and coming back for your 3rd month plus with the XRP Meteor. I really, really greatly appreciate that. And please, I hope you're in the Telegram and taking advantage of that. I really, really do. So Doge, if I didn't, I told you guys before, if Julie didn't own Doge, I would have bought it on this rundown. Maria, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army for your 1st month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on there. Thank you so much for joining the Army. And please, go to the Telegram, everybody. Payment card didn't renew for some... Oh, okay. I appreciate you being, having some integrity, too, and rejoining and paying it forward, my friend. You know, and for the ones who have been in... we have such a good group. I forgot, Tazzy, you are in there. Duh. UB2B, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge, meaning, speaking of which, I evolved. Did you guys notice I evolved once again? The live, do you see the IoT in the other hand? And that blue dot on the hand is a foreshadow of something to come later. But do you guys see the IoT with IOTA on the top of the diamond hands picture now on the left when I do these lives? And that blue ink mark in the middle is not a mistake. That is there for a reason. Something is going to fill that spot that we currently hold. And it could put a dent, so to say. So, but we'll talk about that at a later time. But I implemented these 3, XRP, XDC, and IOTA. These are my cream of the crop, cream of la creme. These are the ones. Now, if you weren't an XRP in the beginning, obviously, it's a problem because you're priced out for 10,000 tokens. And then for our... I like your thinking, Lonzo. I like your thinking. And then for the other one, I added IoT to the fire with the Internet of Things. That shows you, it encompasses What is the value of IOTA? It's a mainframe token for the Internet of Things. Smart pairing, smart cities, all of these things that are smart. Remember, AI and all this crap. So that's Michael, you heard what I said. I love it. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months of the XP Predictor. Tom, welcome back to Tom's Army. And thank you so much for being a part of it for 3 months with the XRP. Was that the meteor I seen? Yeah, for 3+ months. But yeah, guys, this is short. Yes, we have to fill this up. But you see the cup and handle? I have a strange feeling that a lot of these, we're going to make a lot of money. Wait a minute. Have we already made a lot of money too? Oh, I'm sorry. Haven't we made a lot of currency because technically... Well, then again, no. I said it before. Crypto is more money than your native fiat because you can take crypto over borders, which makes it money because you can turn it into any currency at any time at any place, depending on where you're at. Just like gold and silver, you can turn it into money no matter where you're at, no matter what the economy is, you'll get that native currency. Well, I would say for the blue dot, I think I gave a very, very, very big hint. And we'll look at that. But yeah, so we did some forward projecting. Now, when we do forward projecting with that, it's so far behind that you're talking about. You have to do a double projection. You have to do the short term. Then you go like this. And guys, I know it looks crazy when it's in these levels, but you have to be crazy to buy them. You have to look crazy to the general masses. Otherwise, you're probably on the same route as everybody else. And then you can go even higher. See how this one would build it up into the higher cup, and then you measure it again, and this is going to build it up. Eventually, if this actually played out, see how we have this consolidating volume, crashing volume, crashing price, bullish reversal, recipe for a bullish reversal. It's a bullish consolidation. And whoever becomes a part of this is going to be fucking... I've studied this chart hand over fist. And I remember that studying it over 6,000% move. And some are like, hey, Tom, that was before. Yeah, but look. The difference is Dent is still all the way fucking down here. What are we at right now? 0.0008. Imagine Dent comes back up here again. I mean, if it goes, you're looking at a 26x, and I'm not saying that's what you're trying to play, but even just to come up to the first target is massive. To come up here is 700% to try to finish this short cup. You're right, Lonzo, it was. Hey, Tom, I joined Tom's Army again. I thought it renewed, but it never did. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate you having the diligence because you're such a... You've been in here for so long that even if you weren't in Tom's Army and you were part of my the people that are part of it and are reputable people and show integrity, I'm never going to do anything, even if you're not in the Army. Yes, I would love your support. I think I do enough to earn that $9.99. All my stuff is free. I do the group trading for free. Right now, sorry, bro, too broke to afford $12.99. Oh, you're not in the USA. I do it $9.99 a month. But yeah, you're not supposed to join yet. Luther, it's not your time. I tell everybody, do not join the Army until I've made you that money. Period. This chart that we were looking at right now is Dent. Are you all leaving?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you when you get back.
I said if you need anything else, let me know.
Yeah.
We're going to get your mom Cocoa Puffs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty easy. I don't eat anything until noon, so I don't.
Your mom makes for Cocoa Puffs. So
She loves Cocoa Puffs. Are you gonna go?
Jamie likes Cocoa Puffs. No.
Are you gonna stay?
Yeah. I told Jamie to give her money or should I give her money now?
For what?
Groceries. Should I give her like 20 or something?
Where's my pants that I was wearing?
I have money in my little black bag.
Yeah, I don't care.
Just the 20 or?
Whatever you want. Ironic. Let's see. I can't get over it. This is, I'm just foreshadowing this. This is probably the one that's going to end up in that hand with the blue dent. made a dent. I know it's blue like SHX, and if I could buy, guys, I'm telling you right now, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. What?
I completely had like a brain. I was gonna tell her something.
You were gonna give her the money.
I did.
Oh.
But I was gonna tell her
Cocoa
something,
Puffs?
and then I did.
Okay.
And then I completely like.
Wait a minute, what was I looking at? Now you make me have a brain fart, Julie.
Okay.
I don't remember what I was gonna ask or what I was looking at. Does anybody remember what I was just talking about that I was about to answer for somebody? I'm gonna take my because I don't have all my vitamins here, so all I have is my. It's called it's just a stick of things, but it's got all your amino acids. Oh yeah, SHX. It's got a little bit of It's got a little bit of creatine in it. Not much. I don't like a lot of creatine. It's got 100 milligrams of caffeine. Very low dose of caffeine. Most of the ones that you would buy would have 2, 3, 4, 500. I don't like it. Let's see. Most weeks I can't even invest no more. Glad I went hard past 4 years crypto. Which, yeah, a lot of people did that. I told you, you have to be a bit crazy to do what we do in the crypto space, but I always give my word that I'm going to approach this as if each and every one of you are my personal portfolio. And that's exactly what I've done for 4.5 years. It's why I'm on vacation. I just did a live last night. I'm doing it again. And I don't care if I'm at home, if I'm on vacation. There's one guarantee I can make you. I'm going to be here all the time. Yeah, see? After this big roundup, we made a big cup and handle. This is on the verge. Let me go to a different chart. I hate that chart, personally. See, we've done this before, folks. I told you, we forward project these all the time. In the first projection, when it bounced off, look how close it came to filling that. And I've been watching this for a while, but look how close it came to actually filling that. Then, when we run back around, this is where you could get way up there. And we never filled out that 2.2 cent. I remember when we did this. And this was study chart scenarios and outcome potential for Steve in November of 2024. So we studied this in November and we projected it in November to break out to 2.2 cents. Sure as shit, right after I did that in November for Steven, and this was before we had these big rallies, we projected it for our community. That ended up having a 300% pump from there, and that's not what it's going to be at the end. But I love that I kept that written there. November 16th, 2024, we analyzed this. So where were we at exactly on November 16th? It's cool to go back sometimes. We analyzed this on November 16th for Steven. The price was right around 0068. And he asked me where I thought it was going to go in this run. 0068. I almost hit it on the nuts. I projected it at 228. It ended up hitting right here. So it was about a 200% increase from where we were talking about it. We were projecting a little bit higher, but it came within 20%. So, I mean, yeah, SHX is in very much that moment. But it's not, now it's way higher than where I would have wanted to buy. So I wouldn't even buy it right now for me personally because I wanted it so long ago, but was so pissed that nobody has it that I wanted it. Yeah, they still don't even have it. And some of the exchanges that did, I can't even use it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely no brainer. But that's why I keep saying, like some of these other ones. How many times did I go back to ACH and say, listen, I know it hasn't broke that target, and we have to retrace a couple times to get a better buy-in, and then we took some profit a couple times. But did we not majestically find ourselves back in here at the absolute A1 perfect spot on the breakout? And to buy it at 222 is a sign of the angels. We're just pushing this move. And look how long, I mean, fuck. I haven't even measured the big targets here. I'm doing micro with this. Don't you guys understand? I haven't even given you the macro view of ACH yet. No, a lot of people last year weren't. I'm proud to say a lot of people started in crypto after seeing my channel. Some people just watch me and I don't even trade crypto. They just like the way I talk, my personality, the information I give with and without crypto. And I like this chart because it gives you the all-time inverse head and shoulders after the drop down here oh, nice. After this drop down, even though I just got them delivered, Julie, Didn't you just bring in coffee filters that I ordered?
No, they never came. The bacon and the eggs came, but not the coffee filter.
Nothing else came but bacon and eggs?
Yeah.
I'm glad you found coffee filters.
And the lady said we were far away.
We were far away.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We're a far drive for the old lady.
It's a mile from the store that I ordered from. Unless she came from out of town. I don't know. I just ordered it from... Well, whatever. At least she did what she did. I'll up her tip to $10 instead of $5. I'm going to do that right now. You said she was an old lady?
Yeah.
And she had to drive far. Here, let me do this real quick. I'm going to change your tip
It
from...
sounded like a man on the phone.
It did. It definitely did. Well, in this day and age, really, you know. I'm gonna up that tip real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
I just did
sure
that, Julie. I just gave her 10 instead of 5.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure you didn't just leave a bag.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, I ordered that for everybody who's asking, because I don't eat until noon. Like I fast 16 hours a day. I get this minute little calorie push, which it's minute, but it's my essential vitamins in the morning. I got my mom to transfer a 401k to IRA with BlackRock. I'm having a hard time to get her to get here to follow through and get into. Yeah, well, the problem is, guys, anybody who skips this part, what did they tell us this whole weekend? It's going to be bearish. It's going to be bearish. What did I say Friday? Momentary bearish, but I don't think it's anything to. I think it's just a better opportunity. And if it wasn't for that momentary thing, this entire group that's group trading me would not be in VeChain, would not be in ACH, and would not be in IOTA with me. I forced my audience into the IoT because I want you in the Internet of Things, and VeChain's a big part of that component. IOTA is a mainframe token. ACH, it's debatable which side it's on. ACH, all right. Let's do this because I don't feel like searching.
Alchemy Pay, ACH, is a payment solutions provider that aims to bridge the gap between fiat and cryptocurrency. When it comes to compliance, ISO compliance, Alchemy Pay's focus on financial compliance and regulatory adherence is a key aspect of their operations. While the ACH token itself isn't directly an ISO compliant coin, in the same way.
So even though it's not technically an ISO compliant,
I am ready. Please provide.
So technically it's not a but I want you to read this. Partnerships with traditional finance that have partnered with major players like Visa and MasterCard. Now think about it. If MasterCard and Visa are going to go away based on this new bill, wouldn't it be funny if ACH stepped in? I'm just interested. They've collaborated with IoTX, which is an IoT-focused blockchain. This collaboration is about integrating Alchemy Pay's on-ramp and off-ramp services into the IoTEX ecosystem. So the question would be, if you have exposure to Alchemy Pay, would you want exposure to IoTX, or does this put you more in line? Like, which way would you go? Like, that's my question, because I had IoTX. And then I ended up putting more into XDC. And then I went with Alchemy Pay over IoTX because I believe ACH is massive. And I think it's bigger than IoTX because I like IOTA over IoTX. So to me, I prefer IOTA, the IoT. I believe that we have IOTA. IoTX is kind of like if you don't want to hold IOTA, but it's going to be massive. That's my problem. Like, I almost feel gut wrench not to own this token, but at the same time, I decided to buy. The truth is it ended up being 20,000 into IOTA instead of splitting around a couple different ways. So it's an interesting thing, but I do have a lot of faith in Alchemy Pay for the future of basically finance, in a sense. They're going to be the payment system. So once you realize that, it's like you have to have them at these cheap levels. And to have an 11% surge almost momentarily after we bought it as a group is phenomenal. Word Sparky. Why would we own ACH when XRP can do everything they do? That's all about personal philosophy. Why would you want to own something at 2.4 cents that hasn't done what XRP's done and it's at the same part of the formation that XRP was so long ago? My question is, why would you only want to own XRP? How about that? How about those potatoes? We bought XRP at 34 cents, everybody, if you're new. I'm not buying XRP right now. Everybody, you can buy the dip all you want on XRP. That's just not my philosophy. I'm looking for tokens that haven't done shit yet. XRP's made me 10x. I'm not selling it. I have high stakes game here. If I was going to put money into XRP, you know, right here, well, now you're talking about every single thing you buy from here to make a 50% gain, we would have to be $5 plus. For me to make a 50% gain and Alchemy pay from 2.2, you're talking about what? 3.7? To make 100% in data from where we bought, you're talking about getting up to like 3.3 cents. That only needs to get up to like 1.4, 1.3. It's just about positioning. AMP, these are all so undervalued. The move that XRP made on all these big cups, XRP is literally ahead by like a year. So if you take that same fundamental understanding of the other charts, XRP is not the only game in town, but it's going to lead the games in town. It's essentially going to be the gatekeeper like Ethereum used to be in the future. But Ethereum still got a little bit of rally left. It's still got to go up to like 7,000 probably. So I have the philosophy of my XRP sits. I did buy more at 38 cents. Sold it out plus $3, the one at 38 cents. Some a little bit lower in the XRP Bitcoin pairing. But the 34 cent that is with XRP Healthcare on my XRP Healthcare wallet is just going to sit there until the end of time. I know what I'm doing. So I don't need to justify it. I'm just trying to explain why I don't think it's the right opportunity to just put it in to XRP at this point. I didn't buy it 10x ago to buy it now. I wasn't trying to convince my audience for so long to wait until that uptrend hit at 34 or sub 30, or even if it went sub 20 for no reason. I said 4 years ago, when I bought it in 21, we're going to buy and then sell it on the resistance when we get to the top of that market, which we did. We hit 166 on the drop down, formed that right shoulder, and we got out. We bought it at 34 cents to hold permanently. We had a swing at 28 to 42 cents. Bought it back at 34. I never thought I'd get another opportunity, and it dropped to 38 cents last year. And I ended up dropping $5,000 in the XRP Bitcoin pairing with all the audience. I did it all in real time because I come every single day. I've been doing this since March 24th of 2021. If you're new, I've never missed a day. Not one single day in 4.5 years have I missed a day of doing this. Vacation, illness, I don't care what it is. I'm coming every single day. Because to not be here one day is to be behind by 16 months, in my opinion. You miss one 24-hour cycle of crypto, it's over. You don't know what the hell's going on. We'll take a deeper look at AMP, John. It's possible. Wales, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for... Well, let me look at this. I got to look at your comment because VeChain has been making a lot of noise lately. And you guys all know my philosophy with certain ones of these. And the group trading thing is the best thing that I could have done. And, you know, I told everybody in the beginning, past performance of what I've done in this program doesn't predict future success. And you've got to be a big part of it to make that success. It can't just be me. But at the same time, I said, if you follow my philosophies, you're just going to be trading with me. There's nothing different that, and I have $10,344 in group trades right now because stuff has gone up. Overall, in the group trades, and I'm not flexing, guys. I am not lying. I am not trying to, and I've only been doing this for like 11 days in the group trading. This is free. All you have to do is join Tom's Army so we can get past the spammers. And if you don't want to join for a second month, so be it. But you join Tom's Army, you get into the Telegram, you become, and you can join BITUNIX before that, but to be part of the actual philosophy of what we do, join Tom's Army. This is in the members only section only. And it's part of Tom's Army section. So you have to be a paid member to get that Telegram. You get in there, and this is what we've done so far. And let me share this to the new members because I'm only going to show it once if you want to be a part of this. We've been here over an hour, but honestly, we're cooking right now. I'm not looking to leave. I'm not looking to leave right now, if I'm being honest. And I don't think Julie cares that I'm doing this. Everybody's doing their own thing. Some are at the store. I'm not done yet. We've been doing this. Oh, look out. We're going to have to get it food. Is it hungry?
I don't know.
It looks a little skinny. It looks small. I'm going to have to get it food. Poor kitty.
It's out in the driveway.
Is that the one from yesterday, Julie? Aw, poor baby.
I don't know if it will still be there, but I sent it to JP. It has no collar on it.
Okay, so here, let me go into this. If anybody's wondering why I think it's so valuable to be part of us, this community, and to do this for free with us, this is what I've done so far in the first 8 days. Or the first, I don't know, week and a half. My personal P&L and copy trades. Oh, crap. I should have showed you the ones we're in, too. Son of a bitch. Hold on. I'll go back to that. I can't be transparent without being transparent. I got to show you the whole thing. Because I want you to understand the risk that my community takes, too, and the faith they have. And then you can see I'm not bullshitting you. Like, the numbers I'm telling you, if you're new, are the numbers we bought. We bought that dip yesterday after basically wholesaling before it ended up doing what it did. Oh, thank you, Wales. B3TR is V-Chain new DAO. I bought in at 0.074 in L Bank. It's almost 0.11. Wow. Congratulations on that, my friend. That's a phenomenal move. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the... Did that say 1 year? Sorry, my mind is just trying to get out so much information. I'm cooking myself. For over 1 year in the $4.99 donation. I appreciate that, Wales. And Lonzo, thank you for the $2 donation, says, let Tom cook. Tom likes to cook. Remember I said it a few days ago when I said, please let me cook. Stop arguing with me, everybody. And I still have the biggest issue. Do you know how many people still don't listen to me when I say this is the moment to sell or buy? It's a phenomenal thing that we deal with, especially with my history of 4.5 years and how much money we've made. Like, you should not question what I say. You should, but you should also have a fundamental understanding of why is he saying it. So these are the trades we're currently in that we bought yesterday after the dip. Alchemy pays up 13.5%. We have 103,543. B-Chain, we have 100,508. And IOTA, we have 20,020. And that's our totals just from yesterday. So the group trades were up almost $1,000 from yesterday. And then if we look at in totality, whoops, not that one. What I've done with the group right now in my performance so far is, and there's less buying and selling now, but sometimes it's a reposition thing. But I'm up $4,327 in group trades. Our group in 14 days roughly is up $17,000 right now. Our group traders, not counting me, are up $17,607. You want to talk about creating abundance for all? And I don't charge anything. Yes, I made a profit share of $1,300 because they forced me to take a profit share. I don't have any way of changing it. And I guess that's what I get for people making money. But I can't change it even if I wanted to. The only thing I can do is make it up to like 30%. It goes from 10 to 30%. You'll never see it above 10 because that's the minimum I can have. So imagine I made $1,300 off of trades. That just tells you how much I made the community. $121,000 is under my asset management right now. Even though I'm not a financial advisor or asset manager, I approach it like I'm an asset manager with your money. I take it to heart. I take it to heart. And I'm just so blessed that in less than 14 days, this community is up $17,607. And like I said, I'm up $4,327 just on the trades with the community. You know, outside of it, it's like 20, 30,000 in the last 2 weeks. It's been incredibly crazy. And to figure it out to the extent to have the group part of it, it's everything I ever wanted to do to be a part of it with the group. I just can't believe we've cooked to this level. It's unbelievable. And don't worry, guys. You know me. once I feel like we need to get out of the way, I'm going to be very transparent with it. But this is not me. This is a we. XRP Future Millionaire is we. Take a look at how it's written out. The Fine Group helped me make this much more professional into my own image. But welcome to XRP Future Millionaire. Where? Notice it doesn't say I. Where? More than just a crypto community channel. We're building a movement where anyone, no matter their financial background, can access real, reliable insights into crypto and financial markets. No paywalls, no hype, just facts. Our mission is to provide clear, honest analysis, unbiased news, and professional trading insights. And I only do listen, guys, those group trades, even though it's in the futures market, they're all 1x trades. And we even had a blip yesterday when I was driving here. I tried to buy ACH, and it accidentally bought something else on a 20x, and we were down like 80 bucks. I didn't even know it was open. I'm thinking I'm in ACH for a 1x. Somebody messaged me, I'm like, oh shit. So I looked at the chart, I said, oh, we're okay. I can wait for it to get to even. Lost like $4. But I didn't want to keep it open. It was like a $750 20x trade. I'm like, what the hell is this token? I haven't even heard of it. But I had very choppy internet on my way up here, and apparently I clicked on the wrong one, thinking I never even realized it. But fortunately, we corrected that mistake. But yeah, that was confidence at its finest, because I looked at the chart and said, oh, this don't look great. But I know we have enough to at least backtest the drop, and thank God it did. Anyhow, technical analysis that makes sense. We cut through the noise to help you make informed decisions, whether you're just starting out or already trading. Join a positive, supportive community. Grow with a group of like-minded individuals who share support and learn together. Yeah, Wales, thank you so much for that. Seriously. Tom, can you explain the right way to traders on limit? I find myself chasing the price that I want to. Yes. Okay. So if you're having an issue with limit orders, I say this all the time. If you're trying to buy, let's just say you're trying to buy IOTA right now, and you put 2460 because you want that bottom line, but you see there's buy orders that can fill your total amount of tokens up at 2466. I'm putting 2466, and it's going to fill every order between 2466 down to the ones that are available, the lowest to highest. 99% of the time, it's not even going to go to 2466 as long as there's somebody selling lower. So I don't mind putting it a little higher. I've shown the demonstration and people got mad at me before. I don't mind it like that, Frankie. I will put it up a little bit just to fill it. And on BITUNIX, the good thing is that even if you do a market order, do a case study. Do a market order on a very small amount and just see how it'll actually fill the lower prices. And it's actually comforting to know that. But I always do a limit order unless it's not available. Like if you're on a complete volatility, I'll do smaller market orders just to see how it's filling. But yeah, that's what I do. So if you're trying to buy, let's just say IOTA at 24.6, do 2466 or 2468. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year or over 3 months with the XRP Meteor and also the $4.99 donation on top of it. But like I've said, for a long time, and I think you guys can see it true now, I'm trying to make us this in the best possible way, and I've been trying for 4.5 years to be the most transparent without having to make you pay for the information. And now I feel like we have a fine-tuned machine. It took me 4 years to build the Telegram up with a lot of hurt, a lot of mistrust, and a lot of people that took advantage. But it got to where it's supposed to be now. And now with the paywall in place for at least the 1 month to get in, just for like security, call it security verification, so that we don't have to worry about the spammers trying to steal our trying to steal our hard-earned tokens. That's why I put it into place. We have a lot of people banning, a lot of people talk. Oh, I don't want to show people stuff. But yeah, that's what's going on. So go to the declaration if you're a new member when you get in here. Make sure you come in here. You got the security flag zone just in case. We've taken care of a lot of stuff. Make sure you go to Prosperity by Define, the Declaration of Prosperity. And there's so much stuff. There's the Big House Reader's Digest, which, hint, go blue. But read this, the first monthly digest, the Big House Reader's Digest. Don't waste your money. Things not to buy, crypto remedies that truly work. In the jaws of a bear trap, a survivor's story, manage your next bull run. Spammers will absolutely still pay. They will pay, but they won't pay. There won't be as, okay. So when you deal with a spammer, if there's money in front of it for them to spam you, 95% will generally not do it. But you're going to have the small percentage that will do it in the hopes of screwing somebody else. Amazing how you can do all of this work, Tony, from inside your body. Yes, indeed. Corey Smith, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army in your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, and that's my face superimposed on there. Make sure you go on YouTube, go into the post for members only of Tom's Army and click on that link. It'll bring you right to the Telegram. And once you get in the Telegram, it's going to open up the world to you. So, but yeah, we're overextended in this live. I understand I'm on vacation, but I'm having a good time here. I hope you're all having a good time with me. I'm not exactly ready to leave yet. So let's see. A lot of people have been talking about ban protocol lately. A lot of people. Oh man, Alchemy pays up 12% now. We're cooking. We're cooking. Tell me, all of you, where you can go to your normal job and make the money we're making in crypto right now. But not by buying and holding forever. I always tell you, it's not about time in market. It's about timing market. And yesterday's case in point. We seen a drop coming. We got about 4% cheaper. We didn't sit through it. We kept XDC because we seen it was still on an uptrend. Everything else was dropping. XDC was rising. Now everything else is rising. XDC is consolidating for the next portion. We've got this timed up so good that I'm a little scared about what comes next, if I'm being honest with you. Because look at yourself in the mirror. What kind of person are you now? And what kind of person are you going to be with some real moolah? You can see I haven't changed. In fact, I've become more humble, more integrity-filled, more passionate than ever to be here, even though my finances are in the best spot they've ever been in my 41 years. Obviously, you can see that now. To the point my house is paid off. I don't have any use for cash right now because I don't want any more of it. So now I'm investing into the future. Yep, and we've got our... So when you get into the Telegram, you got a few people to face. So if you fuck it up, you got a few people to face here right off the bat. I'm going to tell you right now, you've got defined. So don't be a dick. We got defined because we've got stuff in place now. We've got things in place. We've got Nick, who's the tech agent. I'm the proprietor. And I know you guys know what proprietor means. I don't need to explain it. Owner, creator, the visionary. Then you've got the people who exemplify what I do, like Nick, who exemplifies the technical aspect. So he's the tech agent. Defined is the compliance agent because he demands compliance within everything we do. And then when it comes to integrity, Jorge's proven over the last several years of being my mod on YouTube, he's looking for integrity-filled people to stay in. So now we've got the integrity. So I always tell people, if you do something wrong, one, you better make sure the proprietor doesn't ban you, but you got to get past the compliance agent. Once you meet his demand and then you think there's something wrong, now you got to go get past the integrity agent. So once you get on the wrong page, you got to group up your ass now. And then if you've got a problem with the charts, reach out to Nick. He's the tech agent for a region. That guy, I've said it for years, he is my second-hand man. He is and I know he's not young, but he's younger than I am. So I feel like he's my constituent in a way, like he's my understudy. And he might know more than I do. You never know. We sometimes disagree, but we always come to similar conclusions. What?
I'm kicked out.
Of where?
He got off the bed and escorted me out the door and shut it behind me.
Did he? He said, Mom, you wanted to relax. Let's see. Yeah, I hope that loan protocol pays off for you. I really, really do. And it already is paying off. But I got to have a fundamental flow of where I got to give things to the audience that are more easily acceptable and not take steps, if that makes sense. Mark, thank you so much for the $4.99 donation. You guys are so incredibly generous. Can I ask you guys a question? At this point in the community, do you think we're at the best place we've ever been as far as the integration between just myself to all of you and the possibility of us actually holding tokens in a real form and not having it in leverage, having it in 1x positions and being able to ride this out into the sunset together? Does it feel different? Lonzo, you tried to get me into loan last year. Oh, I'm sure you did. I am sure you did. Holy hell. This is where band's at right now? There's no way. Okay, now I know why everybody's talking about it and the setup it's in. Yeah, we talked about Telegram. I think it was either not yesterday, the day before. It might have been yesterday, actually, in the morning live before we had the drive. Because I did 2 live. Holy shit. We need to take serious stock in this because the fact Sean is talking about this. Sean, did you, if I remember correctly, you dropped some money into this, did you not? Sean brought us last year Turbo when it was several zeros. I wish I would have put more. $1,500 turned into over 10 grand because of Sean. Easy. It was more. Almost, I think, 20. And if he's calling this out right now, there's a reason why. This is literally, holy fuck. God, you guys always throw something at me that now I'm like, fuck. I'm so glad you brought this up, son of a bitch. I know they have it on BITUNIX too. I know they have it. And it's not just in the futures. Oh, wait a minute. They have the imitator. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is it, right? Wow. It's barely even moved. It's only up 20% from that bottom reversal. This is like XDC was the other day. Oh, man, you guys got me by the balls here now. This 125 million tokens. Son of a bitch. This is why I love doing lives, guys. I tell you all the time. This is why I like doing what I do. This isn't... Just remember, sometimes when you hear something... So it's not like I haven't covered this before, folks. We got to go back to the band, though. But I've tried to... It's been a long time since we've looked at the band chart until today. This is highly aggressive where it's at right now. This is actually an A1 timing. Fuck. Oh, man. I'm going to have to do some serious deliberation now. And that's a descending triangle it's going to break out of. Son of a bitch. No, not in a bad way. This is a good thing. Oh, guys, yep. That's, Nick, I commend you for that. I do the same thing with my mom mostly. And my sister, and it's an extraordinary. It's like, probably this year I've spent towards my family, the two, probably closing in, probably over 10 grand. So, yeah, I get it. I get it. Especially with the parents, I get it. My dad's well off, but my mom, they've been divorced for many, many years. She has issues of her own. But yeah, I'm definitely in that same line. So I could have a lot more powder as well, but I tend to be very gracious to my, you know. How could I do this? I'm trying to think of something in my head. There's nothing that I would be, there's literally nothing that I can, I'm not getting rid of any, I don't want to get rid of XDC. The only thing I would do with XDC, but it's not going to be enough. I could cut it down to 200,000 tokens, but that's the minimum I'm willing to keep. So even if I did that with a little bit of appreciation here, that's only going to come out to, that's not enough. Even if I did 12,000 tokens, that's only, it's $1,179. Then you'd have to pull. Then you'd have to be like, oh, I'll take $1 million from Dent. There's another. Let's see. It's the total supply. It's that total. Yeah, Bitcoin. Anybody who's buying Bitcoin right now, that's up to you. I would never buy Bitcoin. I see way too much potential in the alt over Bitcoin, especially at the pricing now. 1,100. That'd be about 2 grand. You have 65,000 band? Jesus Christ. You got $42,000, $50,000 worth of band. No, wait a minute. 10,000 tokens, 70. No, you got a lot more than that. You got a lot more than that. Yeah, that's about to break out. So it's basically this. I'm going to ask you guys. Which one would you rather have? AMP with 100 billion tokens? Or would you take the risk and put it in band, the same amount of money, knowing it's still behind on that golden cross in the 4-hourly? You know what? I think I'm reconsidering. I think I'm going to take the lower token supply. I think I'm going to have to make a very tough decision here and dump AMP. You can't argue with that. You can't argue with the total circulating supply. Oh, fuck. No, I've actually looked at band a few times. It just... I always look for confirmation of what I'm trading, and it's given us confirmation. We back tested the golden cross. This is ACH minutes before the breakout, probably, and other things. Yeah. Sean, personally, do you hold any AMP? And if so, if you held AMP, would you sell it on the spot and buy it into band? Out of curiosity. This is a purely educational purposes only, of course, and I am not a financial advisor, and I am not telling you what to do. I can only show you what I'm doing in my own personal portfolio. Whether sporadic or not, band looks like it's getting ready to explode. It's just like when Mina shared me the dent chart, and I'm like, uh-oh. It's now or never, folks. It's now or never. So, band, spot. Okay. Okay. I can live with it. Plenty of volume flowing. Cake on the fill. Filled right away on my limit order at 764. Put it right in. Wow, that was quick. I didn't expect it to go right through. Yeah, you know what? I thank you, Sean. I thank you because that's the right decision for me. I believe that's the right decision for what I want to do. And where it's at, I'm going to have long-term 202,220 XDC. I'm just going to keep it that way. And what I'm going to do, because I like to have a strategic setup with everything, I am going to have a total of, and I'm going to tell you right now, I put a lot of stock into what Sean says too, because he's been a gatekeeper of some of these when they're lower. And then you look back at it a few months later and you're like, holy fuck, this guy is just on the fucking ball. And I believe Sean, in his spirit, is growing from his earlier years in a good way. And he's allowing us to create abundance for ourselves, big time. So, Sean, I bought 6,000 band. I bought 6,000 band, and I'm going to ride this with you until it's time. Yeah, Quant's a phenomenal way to go as well. For me, everybody, it's Quant, or it's IOTA, or it's some of these other ones. I chose the ones that were in a different spot, that's all. Who the hell said they were dumping XDC for band? No. I said I'm going to keep 202,000 XDC, but I wanted to balance it out a little bit. I am not dumping XDC. I might have dropped a few tokens, but if you think dropping XDC and having 202,000 tokens is dropping it, no. I'm just reshuffling a bit. I feel like we stayed on longer so we could get to that part of the discussion here. There's a lot of stuff we learned. Yeah, I only have so much money as well. Sean turned a 10,000 XRP into 46,000 band. Yeah, I can't argue. Well, yeah, unfortunately, my capital is a little bit bigger because of the trading over the last several years. couple years ago, I couldn't have done this. I'm going to take this off just for transparency because I want to be able to see what's going on. But I'm looking for the big bangers. You know what I learned a couple years ago when I just traded XRP and a couple others? I missed so many other ones like Data and Dent and ones that are like banned and things like that because I wasn't willing to come off of certain philosophy in the beginning because I didn't understand as much. I understand now. I understand exactly what I'm doing now, and I have so much confidence that I'm not swayed. Right now, ACH up 12.9%. Good to see. I believe VeChain is just about to have that similar move, too. We're about to cook here. We're about to see about a 15% spike here up to 3.3 probably. Actually, 3.1 first. But it should push right past that with this consolidation. Yeah, we're looking at about a 15% spike here pretty quick. 1 XRP is equal to 1 million Ripple drops. The drop is the smallest unit of XRP, similar to how a Satoshi is the smallest unit of Bitcoin. Let's see. The unit also follows fractional transactions. Interesting. I think Quant will outperform. Oh, if I had to choose, I would never choose Solana. I would choose Quant every day, twice on Sunday, and 75 times straight during the week. There's not even a comparison. I wouldn't even put them in the same field. There's no way you could, unless you want to just look for that big pump and dump in Solana because that's the elites, one of the elites pump and dump tokens. I would never buy. I wouldn't buy Solana to begin with, unless you're just looking for a swing in a perfect scenario. Look at this big inverse head and shoulders here right now too, on VeChain. I decided to redo the chart here so we could do it together. You've noticed I've been doing that a lot with all of you. We just redo the charts and look at the up to date. This is a bona fide breakout attempt, guys. Bona fide. And with VeChain, look at this. You can go so far back and it's in the same day. Look at this. VeChain came above. We're backtesting this breakout in 2018. You guys realize that, right? This whole reason to come down here was to backtest that initial breakout that had the inverse head and shoulders parabolic spike, and it came right back down. It's testing that right now. If you think that was a big move in 2017, what happens when we come all the way back up to the top and progress out? VeChain is going to be over 30 cents. It's going to be way over 30 cents at some point. It's a matter of patience. We're literally buying these, like I said in 2021 when we sold everything. We're going to buy everything between 90 and 99% on sale. I was serious. Josh, I can't tell you to do that. I'm not trading my XDC for it. I just traded a portion that I overextended into it because I thought it was one that was going to run when the rest were consolidating. But I'm not willing to come under 202,000 tokens. If that doesn't tell you how strong I believe in XDC, I don't know what will. But yeah, I have the luxury of flipping a little bit into band. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong decision. It could come back to bite me in the ass. But I have a plan, and God has pushed the message through Sean to me, which he's been trying to push for weeks. And I finally looked a little deeper. I have an ungodly ability to have a sense of when to look at things at the exact moment I need to look at them. So, and that's exactly what happened with Turbo. I almost missed that with Sean. He kept talking about it. And then all of a sudden, I looked at it. I'm like, holy crap, we got to make an adjustment. And I didn't have a lot to put into it. I had $1,500 at the time. And it turned into like, what was it, Sean? We talked about 18,000 or some crap. I don't remember what it was. It was a lot. I couldn't believe it. I kept messaging Sean like, Sean, you legitimately changed my trading philosophy for the short term because now I got all this extra capital while I'm waiting for XRP. And it was phenomenal. It was just an unbelievable thing that happened. Sean's very generous too. In the beginning, when I wasn't getting a lot of support, he was overextending him. Well, not overextending because he's doing pretty well with his investments and stuff. But he would help push me along in the beginning when there wasn't much support. To the tune of sometimes he'd send $100 monthly just to make sure that I was getting something when I wasn't very well supported, let's just say. Because, when you speak the truth, it's hard in the beginning. But he was very, very, very formidable for me in the beginning. He does every so often. Sells out of something, does something, and he'll send me a little something. But it's more as support now as a mod and just helping the community grow. He did so much in the beginning for me that he allowed me to get to where I'm going. There were so many of you with similar stories, and I couldn't be here without it. I really couldn't. Cat, why can't I super chat? Does anyone see me? I see you, Cat. I don't know. Sometimes they make it to where my audience can't super chat, which is annoying. But all I can say is I'm blessed for you to be here. And there's Cash App, PayPal, Venmo if you want to go that route. But I'm not encouraging you to. Wait until next time. And if it allows you and you still want to take advantage of it for now, just we're winding down. It's been an hour and 35 minutes. I've got to go. But I want you guys to just pay attention to some of this. If XD, or when, not if, when VeChain breaks out of this, 22.2 cents is a rough target. Then once it gets up and completes the complete cup, guys, this is what we're building. And it's going to look stupid, but we're going to keep these because in the future when we say we bought it way down there, and now we don't even know what to do because we have so much of an abundance. And remember, what are you going to be? Are you going to be, when you make this money, just like with XRP and what we've done, I went from literally a $5,000 portfolio to over 6 figures now while doing this with the community in real time over 4.5 years. And I've paid my house off, done a whole bunch of other things, have this great investment in mining stocks that has grown to over $50,000. You know, you're looking at 800 plus ounces of silver bullion and 15 ounces plus of gold. That is my, store of value. A lot of it happened because of my crypto gains in 21 as well. I waited till 22 and then I had monthly purchases every single month that I shared in real time. I did the silver stacking series and all this other stuff. But when we it's allowed me to do what I do now. And some people thought once I got to this point, I would just quit doing it on YouTube because what's the point? Nothing's going to make me quit. I'm building something that nobody's ever built. And it's going to be a ecosystem that nobody's ever seen. And it's going to be a fundamental way of us to make seamless, passive income in a very volatile market because we understand market flow. We understand sentiment. We understand economy. We understand the integration. We understand the digital, what this means. We understand what capital rotation means as well. We understand a risk asset is just that. So unless you find the exact spot, you're going to lose money 99 out of 100 times. Fortunately, we find the exact spot. That's what we do. I do this every single day so that I can do this on the fly. And guess what? I think I'm making more and more fans of everybody because now I'm being more open with my portfolio and involving you within it, make it or break it. So right now, ACH up 13%. Everything else we're waiting to cook. You open up a long on VeChain on BITUNIX. Good, good, good. I hope you're not just... Oh, you're asking if you should open a long. I do have a long open on BITUNIX with the community. It's a 1x trade. And right now, if you're asking me, we have a weekly engulfing candle. We're attempting to break out right now. And once you break out of this consolidation, you've got about an immediate. And I'm going to go after this, after I get done with this comment. We have an immediate. That's the big thing here in the weekly. If and when we break out, because it's not about if, it's about when. We'll give it some grace and say, maybe it takes, even though I don't know if it's going to take that long, we'll just give it grace. Son of a bitch. And if you just measure that, and then I'm out. That's 76%. To get up to the top of this resistance, 92, then you start talking about the bigger moves. And the bigger moves. And I believe VeChain is going to find itself over $1 at some point in the future. It's going to take a while. But it's I can't believe it's still only 2.8 cents at this time in 25. But anyhow, thank you everybody. Consider the Telegram. Consider joining Tom's Army. Get all the special perks. And we'll do our best to vet everybody. I'll be back later. I appreciate all the kind wishes about the vacation. We'll be here until Tuesday morning when we come back home. Yeah, we're just going to enjoy some time here. So be blessed. Thank you for spending an hour